What's going on, everybody? This is dkdynamite, and tonight we're going to be talking about all Season 3 DLC that's currently known for Black Ops 6 and Warzone. Definitely stay tuned. But in the background, we got some nasty gameplay here in the TMNT mosh pit on Babylon. I know this isn't everybody's favorite map. It can be absolutely chaotic, but managed to find the right lobby live on stream, as you guys may have seen, and we went off. Hopefully you enjoyed that one. But with that being said, as far as the third season goes for Black Ops 6, according to the current in-game Battle Pass timer, the season should be starting on Thursday, March 20th. Delays are, of course, rare, but also possible, so if anything does change with the release window of the new season, I'll keep you guys posted in a follow-up video, of course. If the season does stay on track to start on March 20th, then marketing should kick off around a week before that, maybe around March the 13th, possibly even a few days earlier. We know March 13th will be the start of the Clover Craze St. Patty's event, so they probably won't drop a blog post and roadmap on that exact day, but March 10th is, of course, the 5-year anniversary of OG Warzone. We'll circle back to that in a little bit, so it's also possible on the anniversary they end up talking about when OG Verdansk is set to return, and probably even some additional details about our third season. Now, a preload for the new season should also be found in the PlayStation database, I want to say a good week or so before the actual launch, and the preload should be available on all platforms apart from Steam around 2 to 3 days before the start of the season itself. Once again, I'll make a follow-up video once we learn the exact file size and what platforms will support the Season 3 preload. But it looks like as the days go on, more and more leaks are getting discovered about Season 3, and it's funny because Black Ops 6 so far has had a pretty good track record when it comes to leaks. Not too much has been spoiled by data miners out there. There's a couple of things here and there, especially zombies related, that get found and are usually accurate, but I think so far for Season 3, we know the most about this upcoming content update compared to some of the previous ones we've gotten in this game. Earlier today, data miners did find references to daily login rewards, which are apparently going to return in Black Ops 6 with the third season. As we saw in Modern Warfare 2 and 3, oftentimes you'd get a daily login reward tab added to your COD HQ launcher. You'd click on it, and as long as you log into the game, I think on 7 different calendar days, you'd usually be able to unlock every single cosmetic reward, whether it was a blueprint or an operator, various cosmetics, XP tokens. It looks like that system is coming back for Black Ops 6, unless it was something that's canceled or is simply a placeholder that got misinterpreted or something. Now, when it comes to the multiplayer update, something that I believe is close to a specialist perk system is coming to Black Ops 6. This is something that we haven't seen in many, many years. The ability to just earn additional perks instead of score streaks as you rack up a bunch of kills. Something referred to as perk streaks did get data mined with a specific icon, but I do believe this will be a wild card of some sort that gets added in maybe in our third season. Usually when something like this that's pretty substantial gameplay-wise gets leaked out, it's typically about to launch with the next upcoming season, so I do think this is something that we'll end up seeing at some point in March. On top of that, we do know from what could be a scrapped Warzone Avalon map, there are several remastered points of interest that could make their way into multiplayer at any point for BO6. Considering Season 3 is very likely a throwback update, which we'll also talk about in a second, it's very possible we see several remastered maps added into NP. The remastered maps that we know of so far include Outskirts, Dig, Coliseum, Yemen, WMD, Firing Range, and even Hazard. Those are all present within the big Avalon Warzone space, which you can preview if you go out of bounds in any of the current Avalon maps in multiplayer, but the map launch from BO1 that did get brought back in BO4 has also been rumored to return for Black Ops 6, so it's possible any one of those maps I mentioned could make their way back in, or another remastered map entirely, right? Grind was a complete surprise with the mid-season 2 update a couple of days ago, so on top of original spaces that we know are going to be added, it's totally a mystery as to which remastered maps may also get added in. But honestly, would not be shocked to see the potential for Fireteam or Ground War. Maybe they can reuse spaces from Avalon that may not ever get added into Warzone. That would be great, on top of what is very likely going to be a big set of party game modes that we'll end up seeing, whether it's Sticks and Stones, One in the Chamber, Sharpshooter, the typical party modes that we would see in a Black Ops game. And we can also expect some type of special modes that may end up dropping closer to 420. But I think it's time, right? Could we see actual camo rewards added into some events? Will that finally begin with Black Ops 6? After seeing the dozens of camo rewards we got in Modern Warfare 3, will Treyarch finally be able to add in some camo unlocks? I kind of doubt it. Maybe that'll be saved for next year's game, but figured I'd bring that up. Now, a second ago, I did mention that Season 3 is going to be a big throwback update, not just because of Warzone, but even the operators and weaponry we're going to see. So as of now, the new leaked operators for Black Ops 6 include Hudson, Rose, Mace, Domino, somebody named John, and then some code names Lettuce and even Cabbage. So any one of those operators could be representing new characters in a Season 3 Battle Pass, new characters that get added through bundles or crossovers, and hell, we know that 420 is coming up in April, and Season 3 will still be active during 420, so I'd say probably closer to the mid-Season 3 update, which again would be towards the end of April, as when we could end up seeing some type of crossover as we've seen in many recent years to celebrate 420. We saw Snoop Dogg, we saw Cheech and Chong. Wouldn't be shocked if the Lettuce and Cabbage code names that got discovered are referencing something for 420, but either way, Hudson isn't back from the dead. It just represents what is about to be some type of flashback season to before the events of the Black Ops 2 campaign where he died, kind of similar to what we saw with the resurrection of Soap. Soap was obviously brought back as the main Battle Pass operator for that season because it was a flashback to before the events of the MW3 campaign. But there'll be a lot of Modern Warfare influence this season, right? There's operators like Mace and even Rose who you may already own thanks to MW2 or carry forward into MW3. Not sure how that's going to work with having to re-buy them again through a new Battle Pass, but Domino also hasn't been seen in many, many years. Now, as far as weaponry does go for our third season, this giant list did get data mined following the release of Season 2 Reloaded. There's lots of code names here that we can theorize as far as what the weapons actually are, but according to other rumors out there, there are several Modern Warfare 19 weapons that have never been brought back before that may be getting added in to Black Ops 6 Season 3. We're talking the AMAX, we're talking the HDR, the Kilo, and of course, can't forget about the Grau. So those are some fan favorite Warzone 1 era weapons that we're going to be able to use in Black Ops 6 MP and Zombies. That's of course if all these weapons are released through the Battle Pass or BO6. It's also possible, and maybe unlikely, that the weapons get added exclusively into OG Verdansk. I doubt that'll be the case. But a couple of days ago, I did see this tweet, which did give us the hint that we're going to be seeing more weapons added into the armory at some point in Black Ops 6. We just had a big batch of melee weapons and the Hunter's Instinct perk added into the armory a couple of days back, and you were able to do XP-focused challenges to unlock various items. I'd rather see actual challenges to get some of these unlocks, but you know what? It's better than nothing. The thing about that, though, is that in the tweet, it does reference when a weapon actually got added to Call of Duty originally. It's almost like it's preparing us to see some type of pop-up where it's like, hey, you unlocked the HDR, this weapon was originally seen in Modern Warfare 2019. Maybe that's what this pop-up was actually setting us up for, or it was just a bugged placeholder piece of information that doesn't actually mean anything. But obviously there'll be plenty of weapons in the Season 3 Battle Pass, and they'll of course release other ones through some likely challenge events throughout March and even April. But Zombies is where things get even spicier, because over the last few days, lots of new gameplay items were leaked out for what I believe is going to be DLC 3, the Mansion round-based map, and probably just other Zombies content updates that we'll also be seeing that are separate from the release of new round-based maps. So, as I've covered in several videos now, we're going to the Mansion, which is back in Liberty Falls. We saw this mansion in the Liberty Falls intro cutscene many months back, and I go over all the narrative and other gameplay-related updates pertaining to this map in other zombie videos that I could have linked down below. But it's inevitable we'll see the Wunderwaffe as the main wonder weapon. Hopefully they change something up about it so that it feels like something fresh when we actually unlock it for ourselves. Wouldn't be shocked to see wonder weapon skins for this, either through bundles or as an Easter egg reward. And we know the Ray Gun Mark II has been leaked for quite some time, so it's possible that it gets added into the mystery box or is an extra wonder weapon we can get in the Mansion to again keep things fresh and not let things get too stale, since the Wunderwaffe of course was already usable in Vanguard and Modern Warfare 3. Now with what is likely going to be a rescue of the director himself, Edward Richtofen, would not be shocked if we ended up seeing an operator bundle for his character at some point in Season 3. In a perfect world, we can unlock him for free if we beat the main Easter egg on Mansion, but I wouldn't hold my breath on that one. What is absolutely insane though is just a few days ago, the official redesign for the double tap perk in Black Ops 6 did get discovered. A couple of weeks ago, the augments for double tap did leak, which I felt like was providing us with everything but official confirmation that double tap is going to be coming back. I would predict that if augments were already in the files, then it means the perk is probably coming. They probably wouldn't have planned that far if they weren't going to add the perk, but this is our official new look at double tap 3.0 inside of Black Ops 6. The funny thing is, the new icon for it hasn't really been well received, but it looks like the new icon is actually something borrowed from Cold War, another reused asset. And I get it, all the original perk icons were reused assets or logos of some sort, but this new double tap one definitely looks weird when compared to the usual BO6 perkaholic. As long as the perk actually functions and helps a lot of our bullet weaponry that becomes pretty useless in high rounds, then as far as gameplay goes, the perk is probably going to be a hit. Now, augments were also discovered for the return of the Frost Blast field upgrade, as well as the Shatter Blast ammo mod. We know a perk like Tombstone has also been rumored, so it's unclear when that's coming out, whereas some new wand for a different field upgrade, something codenamed Mary Paris, also got discovered. It seems to have some type of Mr. Peaks theme all over it. Who knows what's going on there? But new Gobblegums and Zombies will apparently include Power Vacuum, Ammo Chaos, absolutely over there, and something called Support Group. We're not sure when these could be dropping, but I'm sure some of them are for Season 3, especially when a new round-based map releases. Kevin Drew also confirmed shopping free back during a recent episode of the COD Pod. Now again, wouldn't expect all these items on March 20th, but I think some of these will be bundled with the Mansion round-based map, which could drop March 20th, whereas some of these other items will be saved for the updates in between the round-based map launches. But last and certainly not least, we have Warzone, a mode that I believe is going to get a substantial amount of content with our third season, considering Season 2 really just focused on bug fixes, quality of life, and other Ricochet-related updates. I believe we're going to get a big anti-cheat buff with Season 3, just to ensure that ranked play actually remains playable and doesn't keep ruining momentum of the current BO6 lifecycle, since, believe it or not, I feel like the bad PR surrounding Warzone and the anti-cheat has actually hurt BO6, even though Treyarch doesn't even work on either Warzone or Ricochet. But regardless of that, Season 3 updates to Ricochet were promised, and it looks like it's all but confirmed at this point. OG Verdansk is dropping with the launch of our third season. Although March 10th is the official 5-year anniversary, I think about 10 days later, when the season begins, is when they'll end up actually dropping the map back in. The COD Online shop does have a new merchandise collection related to the return of Verdansk. That's dropping March 10th, so I feel like that day will be pretty important as far as when the actual map is coming back. COD Next did confirm that we're going to be seeing the map in spring 2025, and guess what? Spring officially starts at the end of March. Now, 150 player lobbies were finally, after all these years, added back into Battle Royale, which you can play on Urzikstan right now, giving us what I believe is a bit of a preview of what kind of gameplay we could expect when Verdansk comes back. But weirdly enough, it looks like Resurgence is also getting added to Verdansk, probably similar to what we saw with Urzikstan last year, where a couple of POIs do get turned into mini Resurgence experiences. They could hopefully spice things up and provide a cooler rotation between Rebirth, Area 99, and then some exclusive POIs. Now, according to the media, select content creators and even the press may have already played a version of OG Verdansk, and from what the rumors suggest, we're going to be seeing a map that is very similar to the OG version from March 2020. While the stadium remains accessible on the inside, the roof will remain closed. The train system, however, will be coming back. But it looks like all points of interest also leaked out for OG Verdansk and do include the following. We have Block 17, 23, the Boneyard, the Gora Bridge, Grozna Bridge, Great Bridge, the Karst Bridge, Coast, the Farmland Tunnel, Village, Prison, the Grozna Hills, the Spomenik, the Lozov Pass, Storage Town, the Memorial, and even the Atlas Superstore. Again, that's probably not all points of interest, but it was also rumored that floating loot is meant to return to Warzone, finally, with Season 3 of Black Ops 6. Now, I'm guessing that ranked play will get added to Verdansk, because I highly doubt they're going to keep two big BR maps live at the same time, and people are burnt out of Urzikstan by now, so expect that in the future. On top of a new Champion's Quest set of rewards, I'd assume that they'll also get added for Verdansk, and probably even Area 99 at some point this year. Lockdown was promised for Urzikstan back at COD Next, which never came out. So maybe they're going to save Lockdown for either Resurgence or on Verdansk at some point in Season 3 or beyond. But that is about it. This has been DK Dynamite. Leave our thoughts down below in the comment section. That's just about everything we know so far about Season 3 for Black Ops 6 and Warzone. Every piece of DLC that we could expect when the season begins. Again, things that were data mined are of course subject to change, may have been scrapped, canceled, or modified. Plus, it's also worth pointing out that maybe some of the things I mentioned are being saved for later in Season 3, if not beyond the season itself. With that being said, really hope you've enjoyed, and peace out, everybody.